my introduction, I always get a little nervous when people start saying nice things about me, because then you got to live up to them, right? But thank you. But I heard some of y'all are tired from dancing last night. That's what I heard. So we're not gonna be here too long together. But I'm a little tired because I cut a trip to New York short last night, got a later plane so that I could come here and be with you all. And it is so important to me, and as soon as my phone cooperates, I'm going to tell you why. But no, it's really important I felt it was important for me to be here because you all are who we're fighting for. Yeah. And so if I don't come and rejuvenate and connect with those that my votes actually impact, then that's not representative government. And so I'm really, really pleased to be here. And I saw some of your pictures from yesterday on the gram, and I really, really love your energy. And so there was nowhere else that I wanted to be right now. A little bit about me: I'm a 4th generation resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I was born and raised here, and my roots run deep, like deep. And so does my pride, and so does my care for everyone in my district, and they look a lot like you here in this room. And so y'all are from all over the Commonwealth, right? Okay, so I'm gonna just let y'all know the 95th district is pretty hot, so you may not live there, but we work hard, we play hard, we get a bad rap, but the resilience and the beauty of the 95th district is because of working class families who built it. And I know that this is an exciting time because we are up on some choices that we have in November. And so I just wanted to spend a little bit of time speaking about that. And I have the pleasure of knowing some of you. And some of you I've not met, but I know I've seen you around the Pocahontas building or the GAB before they tore that down, right? And if I have not met you, please understand that I know your priorities because of David's tenacity. Yeah. Where did he go? Okay. So I want to give a shout out to David because it's people like him that let legislators know about your worthiness, your awesomeness, your trials, your successes, but most importantly, I think for my role is your priorities. And so David, thank you so much for your hard work. And if somebody doesn't vote the way that you think that they should, it's not for lack of education. Because we get an education about labor issues, and so David, thank you so much for
you said something nice about me. I hope you'll forgive me that the microphone is a little.
Sure. No, I think it's me. I
mean, you can't ever say the delegate is soft-spoken.
I've never
She is powerful and fierce in her advocacy. Can folks hear me?
Perfect. So with that, I definitely know that there are very few absolutes in the world. Very few things are absolutely black and white. But one thing that I know to be absolutely true is that this Commonwealth runs on the labor of working families. Yes. It absolutely does. Its success can only be measured based on your success. Yeah. Not what number of state we are for businesses, but what number state are we for workers? Does anyone know? Based on an Oxfam report that came out last year?
48,
47.
48?
36.
51st, because they included DC.
Right.
51st. Yeah. So we have some work to do. But when I step into a space, I want y'all to know a little bit about me. So today I'm going to take a little bit of liberties and tell you about my family and the voice that I bring into this conversation. So if you'll indulge me a little bit, my maternal great-grandfather was a 7-year-old stowaway on a Spanish-American ship that had an all-black military personnel on the ship. They didn't find him until they had gotten back to North Carolina, so the captain of the ship actually adopted him and raised him there. And then the captain, once he retired, he started a pharmacy in Raleigh, and until I think a couple of years ago, it was the longest running African-American owned pharmacy in North Carolina. And so he was raised to be a pharmacist, and they started what would be a 5 generations long legacy of people helping getting the medications and apothecary treatment that they needed. So that's that one. Then my maternal great-grandfather, my grandfather, let's go with my great-grandmother. She was a seamstress, amazing, amazing seamstress. I still have some things that she made. And she worked at the Hampton Institute Holly Tree Inn. And she was there when Rosa Parks got there, when they were fleeing from the death threats that they had gotten in Montgomery before they had moved to Detroit. So that is that time and space that she grew up. And then my paternal grandfather ran away from the farm life of Littleton, North Carolina, and got his first job at the shipyard when he was a teenager. And he worked his way up to master chipper before he retired from the shipyard. And my grandmother and my mother both retired from being educators in the Newport News public school system. And my great-grandfather was a Baptist pastor and a faculty member at Shaw University and was president of Shaw at one time. And then he served as the city alderman and was on the county board of education. My grandfather was the first African-American on the Newport News school board. And he worked to integrate local hospitals as he was a consummate physician that the white surgeons asked questions about for their surgeries, but he did not have privileges at those hospitals. My father is the mayor of Newport News, and my uncle is the congressman for Newport News. So no pressure, right? Before I was a politician, I did have several jobs where I learned about the workforce, and I learned about weighing needs versus wants. I learned that Sally Mae wants her check for student loans every month, on time. And I really learned about what it meant to earn my living. I also became a manager in my last pre-delegate job, and I had to decide what type of manager I wanted to be. But I had a wonderful boss as I worked for my father in his dental office. And it would baffle me sometimes about how he would take a financial hit in order to invest in his people. And as his daughter, I'm like, well, Dad, like, we have vacations we need to take. And he was like, no, we have people and patients we need to take care of. And that is the model under which I was raised. And he demonstrated that successful business model for me where you can take care of your people and make a profit. Imagine that, right? So I tell you all of this because my family shaped my view of work. They instilled in me very early that a hard day's work was character building and a sign of strength, not of weakness. And I'll tell you why that's so important to me right now. It's because that impacts how I view those who work within my district and who work across the Commonwealth in today's economy. Working families, like I said, are the backbone of our society. And if y'all aren't healthy, happy, safe, educated, and free, then policymakers need to dedicate our time to finding the solutions to the issues that prevent that. And that's where our stories today collide. In the 4 years that I've been in the General Assembly, I have seen and heard a lot. Some good, some not so good, and some just atrocious. There are two things that stick out to me most, and that's you can tell who's there for what I believe to be the right reasons, and you can tell the difference between compromise and complacency. Now, to be clear, I don't assume that everyone that disagrees with me doesn't care. But I do believe that there are some people in office today who don't choose to care about you and your priorities. With all that is at stake with 2019, you must protect your time, energy, resources, and organizing efforts. You've got to step up and take very seriously what it is that you bring to the table, because we have a moral imperative to take on those who have taken a stand against working people.
Yes.
We have these models of where bosses and workers can thrive together, but the desire must be there to replicate those models. From obvious workers' issues of safe working environments, to livable wage, to paid sick leave, to the very basic human issues of civil rights protections, voting rights, access to health care, and access to education. We have too much work to do to allow for those who have been actively or passively obstructing your way to financial freedom and a better quality of life. So y'all know the importance of November. We saw in 2017 and 2018 what the people make campaign issues are campaign issues. We've seen and heard promises and policies that 5 to 10 years ago we would have never thought possible. We've expanded Medicaid. We slightly raised the threshold for felony larceny. We pushed back against xenophobic and opposing campaigns filled with hate. And we played some pretty significant defense. Even with the minority in both houses, we have been able to at least push forward our agenda that includes all people. But wait. I want you to take a moment to celebrate the progress that we have made to today. So clap for yourself. But now everybody close your eyes. Don't fall asleep, please. But what I want you to think about today is, what will it look like to pass policies that offer our working families the dignity and respect you deserve? What will it look like to promote and work with businesses that choose to invest in and uplift their workers? What will it look like to say all across Virginia, I feel safe, my children are happy and healthy, and they can grow up to be whatever they want and will be treated equally human no matter their bank account, skin color, gender identity, sexual orientation, title, position, religion, or zip code? Open your eyes. That's what gets me up every day. Fighting for that vision. Fighting for that for my community. For all of the generations that have gotten us to today and not making their struggles be in vain. For those who immigrated to this society. For those who were violently brought to these shores. What does today mean in that history as we move forward? That's what y'all can impact though, if you choose. Some of y'all have chosen to watch TV all day, focus all of your energy on that bigot that we have in the White House, and getting your pressure up, getting mad, getting burnt out and overwhelmed. But I offer you something else that you can do. You can channel your anger and your disappointment and hone in on a 2019 candidate that aligns with your values. And you can knock those doors, make those calls, raise the money that you know how to do, and get out a historic turnout for an off year election, because that's what we're gonna need. And I know you can do it. Because people like me are not in office without the help of people like you. So, I will leave you with this. I hope that you will choose the latter, because I need you to work hard and send me some colleagues who know about a hard day's work. Send me some colleagues who who know that the next generation's health and survival are on the line. Yeah. Send me some colleagues who won't just push the green button, but will proactively fight for your issues. Yes. Send me some colleagues that won't lie on the campaign trail because they know you will be there holding us accountable. Send me some colleagues that understand the interconnections between race, economics, and gender. Yeah. Send me some colleagues that know that the issue of gun violence is real in our Commonwealth. Send me some colleagues who won't stick their head in the ground when we start talking about racial inequity. Send me some colleagues who have a bloodline dedicated to helping others. Send me some colleagues who are or love a union member. Send me some colleagues that give a damn, y'all. With your help in doing exactly what it is that you have been doing for decades, to keep our Commonwealth running, to keep electing candidates that will do the work, I need you to take care of yourselves, re-energize, and rededicate yourself to this effort because we have to win. There is too much at stake for us to lose.